Hi Stampers, this is Dawn from DawnStampingThoughts.net, and today we're going to make the Father's Day card. Okay, so I wanted to show you this one first. This is using the brand new in colors in the new catalog, which starts next week. And this is the Watermelon Wonder, and then the Tip Top Toe. And then I'm using the Butterfly Basic stamp set with the matching framelits. Those items carried over to the new catalog. So then this is what it looks like when you open it up. And this card I seen from my fellow advisory board, Leanne Gruff. She had posted a card using this on Pinterest, and I love it. So, but we're going to make the Father's Day one today. That's what it looks like when it's opened. And then I used on this one, I won't be doing it today in the video, but this one uses a brand new embossing folder, which is called Boho Chic. Looks like that. So that's what I did to the front of this one. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're using a piece of crumb cake, and this is cut at 5.5 by 8.5. And then a piece of early espresso. This is cut at 4 by 5.25. And then a piece of Whisper White, which is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. And then the front layers, early espresso is cut at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. The crumb cake is cut at 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. And then the Whisper White is cut at 2.5 by 2.5. Alright, so let's go ahead and stamp our images first. I'm going to use the early espresso. Okay, so we're using the Guide Greetings stamp set. This is in the Occasions catalog right now, and it also carries over to the new catalog. Love that. So we're going to use the little car, and then To a Classic, and then Happy Father's Day for the inside. So first we're going to stamp the greeting on the outside, so it says To a Classic. Okay, so we're going to take the car, stamp that right below that. Okay, and then for the inside, we're going to stamp Happy Father's Day. Okay, all right, and then I went ahead already and stamped them again, and I went ahead and sponged the edges with the crumb cake with the sponge. So I went ahead already and did that. Okay, so let's grab our paper trimmer. Okay, so this was the 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to score this in half at 4 1/4. Okay, so then the first mark, we're going to take this edge right here. We're going to line this up at 3. And then we're going to take our cutting blade. I hope this is showing up in the video. Okay, so then we're going to take the cutting blade and we're going to start it at 5/8 of an inch. So the 5/8 is right past the 1/2 inch and right before the 3/4. So I'm looking at this side here. I want to make sure I got it lined up good. So there's the 1/2 and then there's the 3/4. So it's that 1/8 mark right between there. That's the 5/8. So then we're going to cut this down to 3. So let me go ahead and do that. 3. Okay, so I wanted to remind you that the first cut is done on the 8.5 inch side across the top. Alright? So now we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And we're going to put the 5.5 inch side across the top. So this should be 5.5. Alright, now we're going to line this up at 3 inches. Okay, right here. 3 inches right here. And then we're going to also do the same thing on this side. We're going to take the 5/8, 5/8 right there. Then we're going to cut it down to 3. Okay, so your card should look like this. We're going to go ahead and fold it in half. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fold this. We're not going to score anything. So this is where we did it across the 11 inch side right here. I'm going to fold it in half. And now you're going to just fold this. I'm going to fold it this way. I can see it better. Okay, so then you're just going to fold it just like that. And then you're going to make your fold lines really crisp. Okay, and then that's your fold. Isn't it cute? Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and decorate it really quick. We got our layers. We're going to put those together. Okay, so now before we go any further, we're going to sponge the base of the card with crumb cake. So So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. Okay, so we have our card sponged. Okay, so I'm going to take the inside, I'm going to put that together with the early espresso. Okay, and then we're just going to decorate the card. Now this would be the time if you wanted to emboss it like this one. You're just going to take your embossing folder, let me show you. Just going to take your embossing folder and then slide the whole front into the embossing folder and then run that through your textured boutique or your Big Shot, and then it will look like this. Okay, super cute. Alright, so let's go ahead and decorate the inside. Oh, and another thing too is you want to make sure the greeting is lower so it doesn't show around the edges. Okay, I'm going to put this on the front. Okay, and then I'm also going to go ahead and just add a little adhesive to the corner just to tack that down so it doesn't keep flipping around. Alright, so I'm going to grab my paper piercing mat and my paper piercing tool and some mini brads. And I'm just going to randomly poke 3 holes at the bottom. And I'm just going to add the brads. Okay, so that's how you make that corner fold card. Isn't it cute? So there's the one without the embossing, and here's one that I did the embossing to the front. Both are super cute. And then here's a birthday one. Okay, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you later. Bye!